What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. Yes, I'm back at it again. And this is my discussion / review for American Horror Story 1984, Episode 7. And by far, I know I said this a couple times already, best episode. To me, this was the best episode. It gave me stuff I didn't even know I wanted, and it gave me a bunch of stuff that I did want, and then it left me with more questions than anything. So, let's dive right into this episode, man. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. First off, how can they make me care and be emotional and sad in a horror movie, in a horror TV show? This is a horror TV show. There's nothing but killing and everything going on. And like everything that happened prior to this, like that we saw, I didn't get emotional. I was like, dang, that's messed up. Somebody got killed. Okay, they deserved it. They got killed. I enjoyed it. But, and even like the backstory with Margaret and everything, that was messed up. But this episode, it answered a lot of questions that I previously had, but then it left me with more questions, and then they made me emotional. Like, dude, I honestly felt sorry for Mr. Jingles this whole episode. And then in the end, it was the right thing to do, but his mom even talked him into killing himself. So let's just go ahead and talk about the episode because there's a lot going on, man. So first off, Camp Redwood wasn't always Camp Redwood. Went by Camp Golden Star, I think that's what it was, in 1948. I'm sorry, I had to look away. I couldn't remember what it was. Camp Golden Star in 1948. There was a massacre then too. So we get to see a young Mr. Jingles and him and his little brother and his mom, and they're all at Camp Golden Star, which is now Camp Redwood, and his brother got killed. And the way that his brother got killed, though, I don't even blame. Like, from his mom's perspective, I can see her blaming him, the lifeguards, and all the other adults that was around. But I blame nobody but the two people in the boat. I mean, even if they didn't know that he was under the water, because like he dove before they could see, they knew he was there because he was splashing around when they were trying to crank up the boat. So before y'all just take this boat and go way out there in the open, y'all knew that somebody was there, like whether he was under the boat or he was under the docks or anywhere, you knew he was still out there in the water because you heard him splashing around. You had to hear him splashing about in the water. So, man, he died and his mom lost it. She was mad at him, the counselors, the lifeguard, the people that done it. She was just mad at everybody. Everybody had to die. And they didn't show that right then, but later on in the episode, we found out that everybody died. There was another massacre, and then they changed it to Camp Redwood. Oh, boy. There's a lot of stuff that went down this episode, man. There's a lot of stuff. But we found out this episode that his mom is the reason that everyone else are able to get killed and come back to life at Camp Redwood because he killed her when that's what I'm saying. There's so much going on. He killed his mom because she was trying to kill him, and he killed her, and her blood just bled all over the grounds of Camp Redwood, aka Camp Golden Star, and that's how everyone else was able to come back. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have Brooke and Donna this episode. They go off on their own little adventure and / journey because Brooke is recovering from Donna faking her death. So we have them kind of recuperating in the hotel room, and Donna's trying to get Brooke some fake IDs so she can go off and live her life and not have to worry about everything that took place at Camp Redwood. And that's not what Brooke wants. So she wants to get revenge on Margaret. So Donna decides to take Brooke out to a roller rink so she can enjoy herself because she felt like she lost so much of her life being trapped in prison because of because of Margaret. Oh boy, oh boy. Then we have them enjoying themselves. And dude, shout out to American Horror Story for doing it, man. They made your boy Dylan McDermott a character in this season, and I love that, man. I love them bringing back Dylan McDermott. That was awesome. That was a nice callback. But then we have Donna and Brooke having their whole little adventure with Dylan McDermott. And this man pops up and shoots a cop. Now, comment down below and let me know because I don't know. Is Dylan McDermott's character based off of a real serial killer or killer of sorts? I don't know. I didn't know. But this man kills a cop, rams them, crashes them, and takes them and ties Donna up and tells Brooke, drag her along or I'll shoot you in the face and then drag her myself. This man is crazy. And it looked like he killed 6 women already, I think. I think it was 6. Maybe 6? Or 5. I think it was 5. But anyway, this crazy, man. This dude is crazy. So Brooke wasn't having it. She's not letting anybody take control of her anymore. She's doing her own thing. So she puts the truck in reverse, slams him, and dude, shoots him. And at the end, she took and tied him up, and Donna was like, we ain't letting him go. And Brooke like, no, let him go. Then they tied this man up to a telephone pole, and she cut off his thumbs. Like, your hitchhiking days are over. And then she tells Donna, I'm close enough to Camp Redwood. I'm going on my own. You don't have to do this. You should wipe your hands clean of all of this. And Donna was like, no. I got to see this through to the end. And dude, I got to give it up. Donna and Brooke are straight badass, man. I got to give them their credit. I'm loving this Donna and Brooke. I'm feeling them right now. I'm with them. Now let's talk about some other stuff, because there was so much going on this episode. Then we get to the camp and we see that Mr. Jingles is at the camp again as an adult, and we come in contact with the 3 people that he killed, and seeing them in their leather Mr. Jingle coats. I'm assuming that, like, when we saw the preview of this season, that one of them may be the Jason Stalker in the water killer. I was thinking it might have been Chet because he drowned, but it may be one of them or Mr. Jingles himself, since now we know that he's a ghost. That's what I'm saying. There's so much going on in this episode, and oh boy. But anyway, we get Mr. Jingles back at Camp Redwood. He comes in contact with these 3 ghosts, and he was like, "How are you guys alive? I killed you." And the other 2 ghosts are ready to kill him. But the little chubby guy was like, no. Montana said no killing until the festival. So they take him back to Montana, Chet, Xavier, Ray, and everybody else that's dead. The ghost, anyway. And they say, he's like, how are you all alive? He's like, how are you all here? He's like, well, you killed half of us here, dipshit. It was so good. It was so good. But he killed over half of them there. But and he was like, well, how are you all still here and not able? And they were like, well, we don't know. I mean, we can't figure it out. And they was like, well, we've been stuck here for a while. And after a while, those months and years just felt like minutes to us. And then, like, they go into depth and tell us that, like, they can feel pain, pleasure, and rage and stuff. They have all of their emotions and everything intact, but they still kind of feel kind of empty on the inside. But then that's when we get into the whole backstory of Camp Golden Star, because Xavier and Chet and Montana start to tell Mr. Jingles that we're not the only ones that's here. There's one more, a woman that's in white that's chasing us, and she's always trying to kill us. And he goes to explain who she is and why she's trying to kill the counselors. It's because we get his backstory of, like, when he was a kid, not just him being an adult, of him as a kid and his mom. And she was a lunch lady at the camp, and he was a brother, and him and his brother were just members of the camp because his mom was a lunch lady. And his brother got killed at the camp, and his mom blamed everybody at the camp, so that's why she hates counselors and she's trying to kill them. And we go into this long out drawn backstory, and it shows that his mom hates him and everything. She loved his brother, she didn't like him. And dude, it got real emotional. It got, like, heavy. It got real emotional. And then we see him going to confront her, and she tells him that she still hates him and everything, and she blames him for everything, and she wished he was the one that had died. And then he tells her that he has a son, and she was like, well, the best thing you could do for your son is to die. Dude, it's so crazy, man, because at that moment, all of my emotions welled up for Mr. Jingles, and I felt completely sorry for him, because after that, this is when the heart of the episode just shifted. We find out that his mom was the reason that the massacre happened in the 70s, because she spoke to Margaret to get her to kill all those people and frame Mr. Jingles because she was so mad at Mr. Jingles. His mom hated him that much that she framed him for murder. Well, she had Margaret frame him for murder, and she talked to Margaret and set all this up. That's what I'm saying. There's so much in this episode, and I love this season, man, because every time you think you know something, they shift it and they add more on top of the story. Oh boy, it's so good. It's so good. Then we have Margaret and everyone coming to Camp Rent, which is set up for the festival, and we get introduced to one of the bands, and this dude happens to sell his soul to the devil, which is stupid. And Richard Ramirez comes up. I called him a wrong name last week, so I had to make sure I called him his right name this week, which is Richard Ramirez, comes up to collect, and he slaughters the whole band. Like, the tour bus is filled with nothing but bodies of this group, man. Like, he just straight massacred these people. Massacre. Anyway, massacred these people. And then Margaret's assistant sees it, and he's flipping his lid. But then we also have Trevor making out with Montana, and he was like, I don't care what you are, I just missed this. Because we see that Margaret treats him like garbage. And that could weigh in on anybody. But dude, that's what I'm saying. Like everything, this was like a wonderful sandwich this week, man. Like every time you took a bite, let's take it like a magical sandwich. Like every time you took a bite, the sandwich just got better and better and better and better. Because everything that happened in this episode, like we got this, we got this, we got this and this, and then everything was just better on top of it. So then at the end we see Mr. Jingles contemplating on how to defeat Richard Ramirez, and then his mom comes up and tells him that, well, you sold your soul to the devil as well, so if Richard Ramirez kills you, you won't stand a chance of coming back to defeat him. He'll make sure you won't come back. So she talks him into killing himself, and I'm thinking at the same time it was a good move so he could defeat Richard Ramirez, but at the same time it's also because his mom pretty much wanted him dead. But maybe not, because at the end she shed tears and she even touched him and patted him on the head. So maybe she was kind of having like a come around and was kind of feeling sorry for him, because he was like, he wanted to do this for his son, and she was like, the best thing you could do is to kill yourself so you can come back and defeat Richard Ramirez, because if not, your son's never going to be safe. Dude, man, this episode was absolutely fantastic. Man, there was no disappointments for me, man. I enjoyed every moment, and that's what I'm saying. How can they make a horror show and make me so emotional about the characters? Because I even felt sorry for Chet and Montana and Xavier. And let's be real, they were killing people too. But I felt sorry for them listening to the story from Mr. Jingles, because they even like they said, they can feel emotions, and they were sad. They were actually sad listening to this story, man. That's what I'm saying. Hands down, the best episode for me, and it was just absolutely wonderful television, man. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash that like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, man. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Peace out.